Chiefs and the Bills, and a couple of sneaks. He actually passed Earl Campbell all time for rushing touchdowns. Josh told me on SportsCenter, I had a little bit of help when they were only 1-yarders.
Yeah.
But that is a tough dude. He was also 23 of 26 throwing it. As for the defense, they forced Mahomes into the first ever sub 50% completion percentage. Actually had the ball late, had a chance, but the Bills end up winning by 7 to move to 6-2. Now the playoffs don't start today, and that's good news for the Chiefs because at the moment they would be on the outside looking in. They've already got the 4 losses because New England beat Buffalo at Buffalo earlier this year. It's actually the Patriots who are the leaders in the East for the meantime. Buffalo at 6-2, the top wild card team. And with Jason now, and let's give some credit to the Buffalo approach, both on defense pressuring Mahomes and the way they ran the ball. I know that was something that caught your eye. People forgot about, or they forgot about seemingly Cook in that game that they lost against Atlanta, and since that, they've really made him a focal point.
Yeah, Joe Brady's been fantastic, and they've gotten back to really what has allowed this offense to be successful, and it really runs through James Cook and Josh Allen.
Yep.
You can't have one or the other. They both got to really produce, and they were fantastic against the Chiefs last night. I mean, I think when James Cook is really effective and he's really punishing the defense, you have to defend Dalton Kincaid. You have to do all these flat adjustments where they're getting guys out on the perimeter in these quick throws, and then they can really be aggressive and throw the ball down the field with one-on-one matchups. And the Bills are fantastic, and you see a lot about the Chiefs haven't been bad on the run defense, but they've had a couple outings where they haven't performed to their liking. And I always think you can see where teams are trying to improve by some of these moves they make down the wire. And you see the Chiefs go and get a guy like Mike Pennell earlier this week. They know they need to be better in this category if they're going to be competitive at the end of the year.
And they don't give up 100-yard rushers much, and Cook was able to eclipse that. And again, the pressure they were able to get on Mahomes made him just uncomfortable enough that they now have their 4th loss. And that's why I asked going to break a little earlier, is this a more significant win for Buffalo or a more significant loss for Kansas City? Because now they've got 4 L's, and it means the path they're looking at is going to be more difficult than they've used to dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 5th consecutive regular season win for the Bills against the Chiefs. It was at home. Obviously, 2 losses. It's a big win for them. But I do think the Chiefs is probably more consequential. Now they have a much harder road to win the division. There's a good chance that maybe now they're going to be competing for a wild card spot. 4 consecutive wins is a lot harder to do than 3 and winning the AFC. So it's a big loss for the Chiefs, but not unaccustomed to this territory. They did go to the Super Bowl and win it a couple years ago with this exact model. So listen, they can still compete, and I fully anticipate they will be competing.
I completely agree with that. And a few years ago, I was at the front of the line saying, I just want to see Mahomes go on the road because we had never seen it. Then they went to Buffalo, Baltimore, and won a Super Bowl. So no one's saying they can't do it, but just you make the important point. That 4th game, 25% more playoff wins is a lot to ask, as you would well know. Kansas City's got plenty of runway, but they got some work to do.
I know. Have a sense of urgency.
Man, they got us out here on the Star. We're sensitive to the fact that these guys are trying to do some work. We got Stephen A. with us out here. Feet on the Star, and RC, you got 40 seconds on the clock. It's all yours.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to start with the Bengals. The Bengals defense couldn't get a stop if they had 4 stop signs, 5 stoplights, and a damn roadblock. Freaking Joe Flacco has been in the league for 2 decades. He has a career day, puts up over 40 points, has you up in the game, late in the game. And what do? You let Colston Loveland, a tight end who ain't got the ball all year, 6 catches, 2 tubs. Everybody runs at him. You hit him. He keeps going, and you can't get a stop. Bengals, please tell me why you make it so hard to win.
RC, I appreciate you. We don't have the clock. I'm going to wait for your time to expire, but I got the pill. I'm not getting near that star. I'm not trying to get knocked out. I'm waiting for the buzzer. Is it my time? All right, we have reached the point. We've reached the point 9 weeks into the season, essentially the halfway point, where I think we can separate teams that are decent, teams that stink, and the true championship contenders. And the biggest differentiator in terms of teams that I really believe can win a title is what's the difference between your best and the worst that you put on tape. And the loss that Green Bay had yesterday at Lambeau Field as the biggest favorite to lose a game this year is a gigantic red flag. We will be in Lambeau next week. Bundle up, fellas. It's going to be 30 degrees. Maybe they're looking down the road at that. Maybe they thought we'll be able to win this game with our B or C game. But this Panther team's now 5-4. The difference between the best and your worst can't be that wide. That's a game you can't lose if you're a title team. We'll see you guys next week in Lambeau. Jason.
All righty. Is this how this works?
I think just talk.
I'll stay in the NFC North with one of the biggest matchups from this past weekend. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions in Motown. And man, was it one for the ages. The Minnesota Vikings, coming off of 2 consecutive losses facing the red-hot Detroit Lions, came to play. Brian Flores gets my game ball, man. He was phenomenal. And one of the things I love about Coach Flores is he finds a way to manufacture pressure while only rushing 4. They were doing such a great job of the replacement blitz, getting pressure up inside the middle on Jared Goff. He was uncomfortable all day. They stopped the run. And then I got to give a big shout out to J.J. McCarthy, 3rd start. He's the 2nd youngest quarterback, but that press conference with a lot of heart, a lot of desire, and the blue-collar shirt, he didn't look that immature to me.
It's on me?
I think so.
All right, I'm going to do like Jason just did. All righty. Listen, man, this is a 3-team race, and obviously you think about Seattle and what they did last night. Sam Darnold going crazy on the Washington Commanders. But Matthew Stafford, if anybody hasn't been paying attention to the Los Angeles Rams, what he's doing, the level he's playing at quarterback. And remember, earlier this season, the team should have beat Philadelphia Eagles had it not been for a blocked field goal. So the NFC West is a gauntlet, and you better be ready to play when you play in that division. This may be a 3-team division that gets in the playoffs from the NFC. We'll see what it's like. They got a really good shot at it.
Stephen A. can't catch. Be careful when you're throwing the ball.
Tell me he only gets 40 seconds. 40 seconds. 40 seconds.
You gotta start here.
Let me tell y'all something. I know where the camera is. I always know where the camera is. Let me tell y'all something right now, okay? You can get excited about the Pittsburgh Steelers all you want to. Daniel Jones, 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles, but he ain't lose a fumble all year long and only had 3 interceptions in the first 8 games. I'm not getting caught up in that. I'm not getting caught up in neutralizing Jonathan Taylor, even though I appreciate that. What I don't like is the fact that outside of those damn 6 turnovers, that the Steelers were able to convert into 24 points. The other 7 drives, they only scored 3 damn points. DK Metcalf, your #1 receiver, had 6 yards. 6 yards on 2 receptions. Jalen Warren, 1.9 yards a carry. I need better than that. You the Pittsburgh Steelers. I appreciate the victory. I'm happy that a 2-game losing streak is over.
The clock over. You got 40 seconds.
What I need.
You got 40 seconds. 40 seconds. 40 seconds.
I went overtime.
40 seconds.
Delay a game.
Man trying to throw this deep ball.
Who's got a flag? Who's got a flag?
Delay a game. What Stephen A. said.
I'm sorry.
You can take it long.
I'm sorry.
Off the field.